So, how does one believe in Jesus? Like, there's belief, then there's belief. I know that's super useful, right? Um, there's a difference between agreeing to certain facts and believing something, acknowledging it to be true, and really understanding something to where it affects you. Like it you understand it on a level that it changes you, like almost like committing to something. um like you can have all the knowledge of how your body works and how nutrients work and how gym equipment work, but if you never eat right and you never exercise, really you just know a bunch of facts. You don't really know. You have no personal experience. And like when you read James, you can almost get confused and think that that faith requires works, but faith results in works. Because you can't say that you really believe something and you never do anything with it. That's the kind of belief that just sits in your head and it's dead. Like James says, faith without works is dead. So you can believe all you want that that this is how nutrients affect your body, and it can help you avoid cancer, and this is how your muscles work, and this is how the machines work your muscles. But if you never do anything with that knowledge, it's absolutely useless. It will save you from nothing. It's not going to give you a good life. It's not going to save you from cancer. It's not going to do anything for you. And if you're a fat person going around spouting out facts about how good the gym is and how good food are for you, people are going to look at you like you're crazy. But I think that's what a lot of so called Christians do. They believe things in just their head, and then they go around, telling people, oh man, this Christian thing is great. This Jesus guy is great. The Bible, the church, look at all these promises, look at peace, but they're not peaceful people. They're argumentative, they're sour, just like some, fat, unhealthy person, you know, giving out gym advice. Nobody wants that. You want someone fit and healthy that actually does it to give you advice. It doesn't matter how well they know the gym equipment or how well they know nutrition. I can study nutrition all I want, but if I'm 400 pounds, I'm not really going to convince anybody. Okay, I think I've exercised that example to death. But I think there's some kind of horrible disease in our American churches to where we've been led to think that we can believe in this fashion, and we're on our way to heaven, and one day, even though we've never had a relationship with Jesus, we've never talked to him, we've never opened his word from us, we've totally just said, hey, I believe factually in what you did, and I would like to add this onto my life, please. But I'm going to keep living my life, and I'll see you in heaven one day. Do you think God is really gonna say, "Hey, I know you. Come on in"? No, you're gonna be one of those people in Matthew where it says, "I never knew you." And that's sad and that's horrible. And I know this because I was one of those people. I think there's a danger in growing up in a society where religion becomes almost cultural and you are around it, but it's not in you. It's like being in a boat and you're in the water, but the water's not in you. Not that you want boat, your boat sinking in water. That's not a great example, but it has to be yours. Like there's no grandchildren of God. You don't get to inherit it that way. It's not cultural. It doesn't rub off. You don't get to God because you go to church and you said some prayer that you acknowledge it, you really mean it in your head, but you just go on living your life however you want. When you really, really mean it, and you may have wanted to mean it, I think there's some sincerity and there's some conviction. But when you look at the parable and the sower and the seeds and the people that fall away, it's like they get interested in the free gym membership, but then they just never go. Maybe they mean to go. Like it sounded really good. How do you really believe something and you never do anything with it? How do you say, okay, I'm going to marry this person. I'm going to make a commitment to this person and marry this person and spend the rest of my life with them. They're going to be my partner. Okay? Like the Bible compares Jesus to being, the church is his bride. All right? So like we're marrying Jesus in a sense. Okay? So that's more than just in your head. Okay. I have facts about this person and, I'm going to pay homage once a week and, and then that's good enough. Well, what if you did that in a marriage? Is that going to be a good marriage? Is it even a marriage? Salvation is made to be simple, but it's not made to be trampled on. And there's a fine line. I'm not trying to add in works. I'm just saying that there's a difference between understanding facts in your head and really understanding that you are a bankrupt sinner in need of a savior. Because if you understand those kind of things, if you understand grace and mercy and what it really costs, when you really think about those things, you're not going to treat Jesus like he's something cheap. You're going to talk to him. You're going to read his word. If that gym membership, someone actually died for that, I mean, you're really going to be that jerk of a person? That's like, well, I meant to. They'll let me in at the end of my life at least, even though I never went. It's so ugly and gross. And is that really what America is? Like, we take so much for granted. We're so spoiled. Jesus is just another Santa Claus. I mean, isn't that heinous? So make sure that you really believe. I'm not trying to say that it's belief plus works, but it's belief that really results in works. It's not just a head thing. James says, the demons believe that there's one God, good for you. So they know who Jesus is. They'd point him out when he was walking around in the New Testament. They knew who he was. They recognized him. So make sure you're not in that boat where you recognize Jesus, but you don't really know him. Because, man, if you're going to miss hell, miss it by a lot. Don't miss it by like a few inches, the distance between your head and your heart.